Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no.
It's Jada. Welcome back to my channel. So this video is going to be for those of you who want to start reading or like to read. So the beginning of this year, I started reading. I used to read a lot when I was younger, but I kind of wanted to pick the habit back up now that I'm older. And I did, and I have not stopped. I am addicted to it. I'm like a whole bookworm now. So yeah, it's really exciting though. But it's the end of March. I read 5 books so far this year. 4 of them are by Black female authors, which I thought was really cool. That's kind of what I was going for as far as when I look for books to read. And most of the time when I find books, I either look on TikTok, I just look up books by female authors, or books for Black women, stuff like that. Or Oprah's book club has a lot of great book recommendations, so I got some of mine from there too. So yeah, like I said, I have 5 books. I'm just gonna go through them one by one in the order that I read them. So I started the year off with this book called A Gentle Reminder, and it's by Bianca Sparacino. As you can see, this is pretty short, and it's the back says take what you need. Very cute. And I really liked this book because it was really inspirational. It kind of tells you just to keep up with chasing your dreams, being yourself, doing what you have to do for yourself, not feeling bad about affecting other people when you just have everyone has their own life to live, work to do for themselves. So it just kind of tells you not to feel bad for doing what's best for you. It's kind of keeps you encouraged and stuff like that. And it talks about when you have bad days, how to stay strong. And each page was kind of a different topic. It's not like it was a book that told a story. Each page just had a really good, really positive message on it. Some short, some longer. But it just talks about how to keep going when you want to give up or you're having a hard time. For example, this page says it's okay to outgrow those who don't know how to love you. Just simple stuff like that. It's just a really encouraging, really strong book that just keeps you, holding your head high when you're going through a hard time. So I really like this one. It's 146 pages. It didn't take me long to read it all, but some of the pages and messages are pretty long, so it is a full book. But I really like this one. I give this a 10 out of 10. If you're young, don't know what you're doing with yourself, or you're going through something and you're having a hard time keeping your head up, or sometimes you just need a simple pick me up, this is a great book to read. I read it once, but I will be rereading it. I will be rereading most of these books, honestly. But yeah, I would definitely be rereading this. I saw this on TikTok a lot. That's honestly what made me get it. People were posting certain pages of it, and I was like, wow, that's really inspirational. I feel like I need that. So I got it off of Amazon. But yeah, very good. 10 out of 10. So moving on to the next book. This book is called Nightcrawling. It's a novel by Leila Mottley, and it was her first book, and it was great, honestly. And I believe I read that she wrote this when she was only 17. But yes, the author, see, what I love the most about this book is that the author is a poet. So it really showed through the book and through her wording, because as I was reading it, it's the way it was written was very poetic. So you could most definitely tell that the author was a poet. And I love wordplay and just little things like that. So that was really interesting to me. But I will say, if you read this book, be prepared to be a little sad, okay? So this one was about a young woman. Her mother wasn't around too much. She had gotten into some stuff, so it was mainly her and her older brother in the house raising themselves. And then soon her brother was kind of slacking, not really helping out around the house. They had bills to pay, things like that. And there was another younger boy who lived in the apartment building they lived in, whose mother wasn't around as much, so she pretty much took him in under her wing, although she was still a young woman herself. I believe she was 17 in the book, and for most of the time. And then yeah, so later her brother, he got into some stuff, so she was you know, taking care of the house by herself, also taking care of this younger boy. And it just kind of talks about her journey through that situation. So I'm just gonna read the blurb because I don't want to like say too much or too little. I want to say enough about it. So yeah, it says Kiera and her brother Marcus are scraping by in an East Oakland apartment complex, optimistically called the Regal High. Both have dropped out of high school, their family fractured by death in prison. But while Marcus clings to his dream of rap stardom, Kiera hunts for work to pay their rent, which has more than doubled, and to keep the 9-year-old boy next door, abandoned by his mother, safe and fed. One night, what begins as a drunken misunderstanding with a stranger turns into the job Kiera never imagined wanting, but now desperately needs: nightcrawling. Her world breaks open even further when her name surfaces in an investigation that exposes her as a key witness in a massive scandal within the Oakland Police Department. So, with that little blurb, you can tell this book is full of like twists and turns and shocks. It was honestly really sad at some points. Like there was some points I was looking at the book like, oh my god. But yeah, this one will definitely tug at your heartstrings. You might shed a tear. I didn't, but like I kind of wanted to. Like it was pretty sad. So yeah, if you read this book, just be prepared for a story, okay? Because Kiera, she goes through a lot. Like it's a good book though, so I would definitely recommend this. I think that I would give this book a 9 out of 10. I say the only reason I don't give it a 10 is the way it ended was a little abrupt, if you know what I mean. Like it wrapped the story up and everything, but I feel like it didn't necessarily explain everything. So yeah, but other than that, 9 out of 10. So moving on to the next book that I read. This is one that I heard the most about before reading it. A lot of these other books I didn't really know about, but this one is 7 Days in June by Tia Williams, another novel written by a black woman. This book was really good. I give this a 10 out of 10. Like it's just okay, so it's like a, you know, nice black love story. We all love those, but it included a lot of stuff. Like the couple in this book, they went through a whole lot together. Like I can't even begin to explain, but I'm gonna read the back of this one. 7 days to fall in love, 15 years to forget, and 7 days to get it all back again. Ava Mercy is a single mom and best-selling erotica writer who is feeling pressured from all sides. Shane Hall is a reclusive, award-winning novelist who, to everyone's surprise, shows up in New York. When Shane and Ava met unexpectedly at a black literacy event, sparks fly. But what no one knows is that 15 years earlier, teenage Ava and Shane spent one crazy, torrid week madly in love and have been secretly writing to each other in their books ever since. Over the next 7 days, amidst the steamy Brooklyn summer, Ava and Shane reconnect. But Ava's wary of the man who broke her heart. Before Shane disappears again, she needs a few questions answered. So this was really good. So like I said in the book, they spent like a week together when they were younger, in love, parted ways for a crazy reason. You will get there if you read it. Found each other again, and they were just kind of like going through the motions, figuring stuff out. And like I said, they were both authors in the book, and they were both writing like about their time together. And like it was really only they knew they were writing about each other, of course, because they witnessed it, they went through the stuff together. But yeah, they were like low-key writing about each other in their books, and they were both like best-selling authors, which made the book like a lot more interesting. Like I don't know, it was just really good. Again, I've heard a lot about this, and it definitely exceeded my expectations. So 7 Days in June gets a 10 out of 10. Again, Amazon, everything's from Amazon. So next I have Maame, which is another novel by Jessica George, another black woman. So this book was really good, but I do give it a 7 out of 10. And the reason I give it a 7 is because the second half of the book really had my interest. The second half got really good. Like it was kind of like I can't put it down. Like for most of these books, the whole time I was reading, it was like, oh my god, I can't put it down. But this one, the first half started a little like slow, but the second half and the ending was really good. Like the ending of this book gets a 10 out of 10 because I feel like not all books will end the way you want them to, you know, like it may end abruptly or not explain everything, but this had a very great ending. So I do give the ending a 10 out of 10, but overall I think I give the book like a 7 or 8. So yeah, so this was like a I feel like it was like a coming of age story, but for an older woman, because I feel like she didn't really get to start living until later in her life, because she was always so responsible for her family and like making sure everybody in her family was okay, even though she was the youngest and she was the girl. She had an older brother. And Maame is actually her nickname given to her from her mother at a young age, and it means like strong woman and things like that. So there was a lot of controversy with her nickname as well, and it just talks about like when she finally got to start living for herself and exploring her life and what she wanted, and she started like standing up for herself, which I thought was really powerful. But I'm gonna read the blurb of this as well. It's a little long, I might not read the whole thing, but it says, it's fair to say, well, I'm gonna start with the meaning of Maame. Sorry. It says, Maame has many meanings in Twi, but in my case it means woman. It's fair to say that Maddie's life in London is far from rewarding. With a mother who spends most of her time in Ghana, yet somehow still manages to be overbearing, Maddie is a primary caretaker for her father, who suffers from advanced stage Parkinson's. At work, her boss is a nightmare, and Maddie is tired of always being the only black person in every meeting. When her mom returns from her latest trip to Ghana, Maddie leaps at the chance to get out of the family home and start finally living. A self-acknowledged late bloomer, she's ready to start experiencing some important firsts. I didn't read the whole thing, but yeah. So, like it was saying, she was kind of a late bloomer. She didn't get to start living her life the way she wanted to until later in life. So it just kind of talks about her journey, like learning what she likes, who she likes, finding out different things about herself, even though she was a little older, you know. But I think it was a really powerful story. Like I said, it had a great ending, so I would definitely give this a read. Like, I feel like not every single book in the world is going to be like a, oh my god, 10 out of 10, absolutely amazing, but it 100% is worth the read. It was still a really good book, so I would still definitely recommend this. So that was Maame by Jessica George. And lastly, my most recent book, y'all. I'm not gonna lie, this was my favorite one. Like, when I say I read this book in a week, like, I would say usually it takes me probably 2 weeks to finish a book, but I read this book so fast, like less than a week, honestly. I read it so fast I couldn't put it down. It was just so good. But anyway, this book is called Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan, another black woman. This is what it looks like. This book is so good, y'all. I love a good black love story. Like, they're just so good. Like, I don't know. But anyway, this book was really powerful. It was actually about a divorced couple. They had went through a lot of different things that kind of you know, brought their marriage apart. So they ended up getting a divorce, and it just talks about like a little bit about their past and their journey a couple years after the divorce and how they were dealing with it and things like that. So I am going to read the back of this one. It says, their love was supposed to last forever, but when life delivered blow after devastating blow, Yasmin and Josiah Wade found that love couldn't solve or save everything. It couldn't save their marriage. Yasmin wasn't prepared for how her life fell apart, but she's finally starting to find joy again. She and Josiah have found a new rhythm, co-parenting their 2 kids and running a thriving business together. Yet like magnets, they're always drawn back to each other, and now they're beginning to wonder if they're truly to let go of everything they ever once had. I kind of messed those words up in there, but it's okay. But yeah, this was so good. So like I said, they had a business together. They actually ran a restaurant together. So after the divorce, like, they were still running the restaurant together. Of course, her ex-husband Josiah was like the main person in the restaurant, while Yasmin was like mainly taking care of the children. He had moved out of their house, but only moved like a couple streets over, so you know they could still co-parent very well. But I don't want to say too much because you need to go read it. If you're watching this video, this should be the first book you get. Okay, I'm not gonna say too much because go read it, but just know that this was like a 15 out of 10. It was very good. It was a great book, and it was just good. I don't really know what else to say. So if you like black love stories and you're looking for a good book to read, this is the one. But this too, like, these 2 right here are really good. Like, go get it. Just go get it. So those are the 5 books I read so far this year. There's some great recommendations, I'm telling you. So please go read one. And if you do, tell me what you thought about it. You can leave it in the comments. Just tell me what you thought and how you liked it. Again, they were really good. I'm really getting back into reading, and I've honestly been enjoying it because I try my best not to just scroll like for long periods of time on my phone. And sometimes you just get lost in it. Like, you start scrolling for a couple minutes, next thing you know, you've been on TikTok for 2 hours, and it's just like, okay, pick up a book. So I started picking up a book, and I've really been enjoying it. Again, let me know what you think about them if you go read them, and I will be doing more updates as I continue to read more books throughout the year. So stay tuned for the next 5 books if you like this one. And thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, don't forget to like and comment and share. If anybody else you know needs a good book to read, you know, I'm gonna send this to them. So yeah, again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.